Alright tout le monde, je suis gestionnaire, on se retrouve sur la suite de Tales of Arise. Donc précédemment, on a la vieille sorcière, ben la vieille, elle est pas vieille là, mais il y a la sorcière qui a fait à croire en fait au peuple de ce village-là, Niaise, qui lui a demandé, ben, qui a fait à croire en fait qu'elle s'est fait capturer, puis ils l'ont brûlée vivante, mais finalement c'était un trick, une feinte, puis environ 90% de la population est décédée. Sont virés en énergie astrale. Ok, ouais. Là, je parle, je sais pas où aller. Elle est au quai souterrain à l'ouest de Niaise. Les quais souterrains à l'ouest. À l'ouest, ça serait par là. Ça, c'est Niaise. À l'ouest. Le plus à l'ouest, c'est ici, parce que ça, ici, c'est la forêt. Puis ça, ici, c'est au sud. On va aller par là. On va aller voir là.
You sense one of your pals, Hoodle?
I see plenty of ruins around here, too. It must have been a big town bustling with people back in the day. For Crown...
Ok, ici j'ai des échelles. La seule sortie que j'ai c'est à l'autre bout. On va m'aller à l'autre bout.
Contest participants. Places such as these are but vectors for the astral energy they pursue. Similar to that windmill, for instance.
Do you think this is one of the places where the Dark Wings and Almadria fought?
I wouldn't be so sure. This place appears more ravaged by time than combat. Even if there are signs of destruction, it would likely have taken place during the Great Conquest of 300 years prior.
And ever since, it's been a breeding ground for Zeugles, I guess.
A dead end?
No, there's an elevator.
Ah, entrée secrète. Ah, et voilà, on l'a trouvé.
I can't believe there's actually an underground harbor here. There are even boats docked.
I only see Danans. Think they were forced to work here?
Probably. Let's see what they have to share. You didn't happen to see a lord come by, did you?
Sorry, friend, but she just left. Came by with a whole posse of underlings, boarded her ship, and took off at first wind. We damn near got blown away. She was that much in a hurry.
Damn! So we missed her!
You guys trying to go after her? Need a ride?
Are you saying you know how to steer a ship?
Spent most of my life chained to the deck of some ship or other. Yeah, I know my jib from my boom.
We don't know how dangerous it'll be. Better you give us the boat and stay on solid ground.
Whoa there! You been out on the water before? The sea ain't nobody's friend, you know. You need a sea dog like me or you'll sink her before she makes it out the harbor.
We're losing time. Sir, we're in your debt.
Now that's more like it. Name's Mahavar. Just give me a holler when you're all set and we'll set sail.
Oh, je pense qu'on va aller battre le boss là. Let's go. Nice.
This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Of course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Until then, you're all free to do whatever, Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Mahavar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat.
Nice, c'est bien cool ce petit bout-là.
Check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
You don't look so good. You all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almadria were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective, from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almadria did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. but to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Miguel, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Il a coupé ça sec. Et lui aller parler, Rinwell est là. Oh, on va toutes les faire, c'est. On va parler à Shion à la fin, man. Meilleur pour la fin.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almadria?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegus.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegus. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almadria did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almadria do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almadria resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almadria, right?
Yeah. I hate her, ALPHEN. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Sar has people like Deadeye. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almadria. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almadria when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, ALPHEN. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Shion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Shion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Ok, allez, reste chiant d'aller voir.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, ALPHEN. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, ALPHEN.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Si les deux finissent pas ensemble à la fin du jeu, là, je donne la note de 1 sur 10. Le build-up qu'il y a là. C'est obligé là. Elle avait une bonne longueur d'avance sur nous quand même. Et si vous voulez faire une petite sieste, gênez-vous pas. Ok, ouais. Sommes-nous bientôt arrivés?
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. A ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Et on rentre dans le temple ou donjon du boss.
I want to feel your hair right now. You are the place my only home. Yeah, just like the flowers that bloom and fall with me over and over again. I'm barely breathing and breathing to that ground, but each and every time we all stand up. Stop right to yourself and be true to yourself, and that might be we forget exist destiny. So let's tell me now. You must feel love, but I'm right by your side. Yeah, just like the flowers that bloom and fall to be over and over again. Keep the flame alive. I want to feel your hair right now. You are the place my only home. I know, I know, I know. Yeah, we can one day whisper like flowers in the sky. No matter where I'm by your side. I know, I know, I know. You and I, let's fly the souls that we're together. Can't feel my habits, so take my hand to do tomorrow. The crowd back and let it be. You give me strength and give me pain. To dark the darkness, let's forget all the love. Sparks just like Hibana. Come, light up like Hibana.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Let's go. Forteresse mobile, Gratia. Les membres qui étaient partis sont revenus dans votre groupe. Qui ça?
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said helped to calm me.
Don't mention it.
Quoi? Fuck, je suis full. Ils m'ont donné 3 fioles de résurrection puis je suis full. Fuck, j'ai pas dû les acheter de bord. Tabarnak, je regrette.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelselik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought it was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Dahnan in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Ouais, pas le choix d'y aller là.
No holding back.
This will be a piece of cake!
Anything in armor is
I'm going in!
Engaging!
You picked the wrong
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
You escaped!
Not in your dreams!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Je voulais me revirer de bord, mais j'ai glissé.
Don't be such a pessimist! This one's mine!
I'll punch that gun out of your hand! Bring your fire support!
Far enough!
I'm not done! It's over!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! Fall back! Here I come!
Power of water!
We managed to...
Ok, une autre barrière qu'on va libérer. Je me demande si je comprends le principe. Oh, qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici? Fuck off.
That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
Ah, ils m'ont suivi jusque-là, les tabarnak.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this. It's
You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
Its armor's too strong!
Did I steal? Be my guest.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Dance in the wind!
Now!
Pounce it! Do it!
It's over.
Ah, je vais faire le finish dessus, ça c'est cool.
I need to be stronger.
Let's go, pas le choix.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Now we're not. This one's all mine.
Annihilation!
I won't show you any mercy. Take it.
Here!
Soda.
Concentrate! Now!
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
On les a fini les deux en tabarnak.
Dad was.
One day I think you'll surpass him.
I wonder when.
Ah, je l'ai pas pris ça? Ah oui, c'est vrai, c'est ma gelée d'orange.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Denied. Armor won't save you. My shield.
I'll have to take my revenge on you! Ridwell, astral energy! Full throttle!
Here I come.
I'm never miss! My astral energy!
Ignite. Damn it.
Now! Ridwell, astral energy! Full throttle!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Looks like trouble with capital T. Together we got this. Got you now. You're mine.
They really don't give up, do they?
The rebel. Stop them.
You require a hand.
I really owe you. Take this. You're mine. You're finished. Rising Wyvern.
Now you see what I can do.
Take this. On your knees. It's over. First strike.
There! One more! Not in your dreams! You're
Tectonic punch. Come back, will ya? Not today. Like you.
Here I go!
Here I come. It's over.
Annihilation!
In the groove. Come back, will ya? Off like full swallow blade.
Merde, manqué le site combo, tabarnak. Fait chier, lui.
Glacial spear!
You're mine.
Raging wind taser!
I'm not done.
Sleep now!
Rising
See
Wyvern.
what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Fierce evil! I'm ready for more!
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Hein? Bon, c'était quoi,
A
c'est ça?
comfortable win.
Yes, une clé.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Ah, où est-ce que je vais? Oh, attends, il y a quelque chose
No
là-bas.
ordinary enemy I see over there. These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zoogles the Renans usually keep around.
Ah, fuck. Font chier.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Swallow blade.
Annihilation! These ones can run rings around us!
You're mine. No further. No escape. Rising Wyvern. Tectonic punch.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Bon, les trois, on les a décalissés. Nice.
With this, I can become even stronger! This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
It looks and smells like some kind of medicine.
Whatever this place was used for, I doubt it was anything of repute.
Voilà, c'est deux.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegus?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegus and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? Ugh, my head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a, elle? Ah, enfin, on a une quest. Ah, c'est par là. Ah, ok, je peux pas y aller. Let's go.
No holding back.
You're mine!
Thank you.
Take this!
Freeze Lancer!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Clock!
Nice.
Ok, j'arrive de là, moi, ici. Ah, shit.
This looks nice and tough.
Pas le choix d'aller péter les autres avec, là. Ils sont tout le temps devant, là.
I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Ignite!
No steel can stand up to these fists.
I see what it is! We're not finished!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Radiant Light!
Here! Swallow dance! I'll smash you!
It's over!
Let the orb handle this.
You're on!
Do it!
Raging! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
A comfortable win.
Ok, y a de quoi d'important là-bas, on va y aller. Là.
Looks like trouble with a capital T.
Together, we've got this!
Far enough! You'll have no mercy!
Got you now! Kisara! Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone! Sight in the wind! Help
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
Talon Hurricane!
You're mine!
Lightning Orb! Here goes!
get out of this! Rising Wyvern! Take this!
You!
Annihilation! Air thrust! Light astral energy!
Take this back, will ya?
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. Hein?
There's always room for improvement.
What's this thing?
Oh, gelée d'ananas. Elle doit être plus puissant encore. Idiot.
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist.
Now you'll learn!
I never
A showdown between blade and fist.
Try harder! Now!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Here, let me help.
Eat this! I'll tear you apart!
Blaze of fury! Burning strike!
Rising Wyvern!
Eat this!
The enemy will watch too.
You'll soon see about that!
Watch this!
Ready and ready!
Try harder! Not a chance!
I'll
smash you!
I really owe you
Rising Wyvern!
Here goes!
Can't get out of this!
Freeze Lancer! Confiscated!
Burn in hell!
Heal you all!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Wind astral energy!
I felt fine not too long ago. No, I won't give in.
Far enough!
It's over!
Come out of it! I'll be saving someone!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
I never fit! Light astral energy!
You're finished! Stardust!
Radiant
Mirage!
fire!
I'm not done!
Radiant
Oh.
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Glacial spear!
I'm not done!
Freeze Lancer!
You're mine!
Seal!
You're mine!
Go! Get started!
Infernal Torrent! Move it! Kick! Try harder! Not a chance!
Here, let me help!
Burn in hell!
Now we're not on a roll now!
I'll smash you! You're mine!
Can't get out of this!
Reload! Tempest Sword! Searing Flame! Reload!
Hold nothing back!
All good things come to an
Ready
end.
to go!
You're mine!
Ready to go! Back into the front!
Nothing gets by me!
Infernal Torrent!
Not in your dreams! Radiant
Too much! Remember!
Astral energy!
Il y a plus de vie, man.
Searing Flame! Reload!
Ah oui, j'ai plus de PC, c'est pour ça. Fuck. Ouais, pas le choix.
This situation! Strike! Rising Wyvern! Infernal Torrent! Rising Wyvern!
More for the stockpile!
I'll finish you here and now! It's time!
Raging, this one's mine!
You picked the wrong fight! You won't make a fool of me! I'm not done! Remember!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
I can feel my power growing!
Oh, c'est rendu, nice. On l'a trouvé.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking.
Ah merde. Je pensais qu'on avait trouvé sa salle. Elle était là au début. Y'a rien? Ah, ok.
What's wrong? Sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
On vient de snow pas? Ah non, attends. Ça va bien tout.
The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
J'ai pas été assez trop, on va y aller. Ah shit. C'est 4. Est-ce que je gagne mon micro? Désolé.
Is this the ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Oh!
Be on your guard. For all we know, there could be something hiding around here. Es-tu sérieux? Il est venu me chercher loin de même. Ah, lisse.
I'm reaching my limit, you guys.
Damn. Guess we better be extra careful.
Ouais, là, c'est poche, là. On a plus de péché, moi, de prendre de quoi. C'est quoi qui nous donnait des... Ah, les PS? Ah, ok, nice, tiens. On va prendre ça aussi. Ah, pas le choix de passer là.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
It's over! There! Super Swallow Day! Swallow Blade! Swallow Storm!
I'll shoot them out of the sky!
No way! Power of water!
Hit him once!
Swallow Blade! Try harder! This one's all mine!
In here! Healing art!
First strike!
Saving this
Not
one!
today! I'll tear you apart!
Not on my watch!
Far enough! You're mine!
Take That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Ah, vite, vite.
Where are you going?
It's over. Take this. It's pinned down.
Dance in the wind.
You picked the wrong fight.
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil.
Try this.
Warrior.
Try harder.
Raging Storm.
Blade.
Here's a
You're
hero.
mine. You're finished.
Raging
Stunner.
Sleep
Take
now.
this.
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil.
C'est quoi là?
Don't get in my way.
It's far enough.
Dance in the wind.
Now in the groove. Shattering the
I'll be saving this one.
attack time. Swallow blade. Try harder. Watch it.
Here I go.
Ah fuck, il m'a pogné. Si je pensais qu'il en lançait une là.
Here, let me help. First aid. Not on my watch. Watch and weep.
Burn.
Can't swirl. Annihilation.
Rising Warrior.
Do it.
Kisara, Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone.
Là, c'est en crise cette attaque là et tout, man.
I felt better, that's for sure.
Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check.
Alright, let's go, on s'en va au boss.
If Almadria's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it. Well, there's only one last place to look. Straight ahead.
Almadria.
Let's go.
There she is! Almadria!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almadria.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like the rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without it are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Mies. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almadria.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, you will witness what that power's truly capable of! Mesmold!
On se bat plus contre les seigneurs, on dirait, on fait juste se battre contre des créatures. Je vais voir une partie avec lui puis une partie avec la fille, d'après moi.
Enjoy your meal.
Ah, ok. Il y a de sucre. Ah, c'est ça, c'est les deux en même temps. Nice.
Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me.
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you! Leave now!
Mirage!
I'll be ready! Flame of fury! Here's burning strike! Here's evil!
Smash you!
Freeze laser! Photon blast! Laser spear! Here's evil!
I'll finish you here and now!
Freeze laser! Light astral energy! Lightning condensed!
It's over! I'll tear you apart!
Radiant sludge! Here! I'm out of ammo!
Oh, lisse.
Healing sublimate!
Ah, yes, ça l'a mis un cercle.
Back into the fray! Annihilate dreams!
In a bind!
Mega ray!
Here I come! Come on, try harder! Take this! I really owe you one. Armor won't save you! Strike! Rising Wyvern! This one's all mine! Infernal Turret! Not today! Dead! Here I come! You're finished!
Here's evil!
I'll finish you here and now!
This one's mine!
Infernal Turret!
Where are you going?
Swallow Blade! Slash! Dragon Swallow Blade!
Ah, lisse, on l'a full attaqué, il fait chier.
Thank you. I'm out.
In a bind! It's over! Try harder! My turn! Anything in order is all mine! Will this help?
Ah, fuck.
Eat dirt!
Brimming with hatred.
It's over!
I'm out. Back into the fray.
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready.
Ah, shit.
You're mine!
Raging Cascadian flood. Here. In here. I'm out of ammo. I'll be saving this one. If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Know your place.
Here I come!
These sticks has got your name on them!
Gemini
Wretched fool!
Not today!
I can carve through armor!
Take this!
Dust it over! Wretched fool! Leave intelligence to me!
Not a chance!
Far enough!
Rising Wiper! You're on! Infernal Turret!
Eat this!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Freeze Lancer! Raging Storm!
Swallow this!
All mine! You picked the wrong fight!
Stay away!
You're mine!
Here goes!
You're finished!
Have some
Rising Wiper!
I can carve through. I'll finish you here now! In a bind?
I never miss! Just try and run!
On a full attaqué, man, ça y a rien fait. C'est quoi qui donne des... Ah, c'est le jus d'orange.
This should do it!
I can handle it.
This one's all mine!
Ah, il est fatigant, là.
Ignite! Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
They're attacking separately!
Can't land a hit on her! Keep an eye on her, and take out the monster first.
Here I come! I'm on it!
Ah, fuck, c'est les deux, là.
Stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that!
Yeah, take it away!
Iron Well est dead.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Resuscitation!
On va essayer de péter le monstre avant, là.
I've still got some fight left in me!
Here I come!
Swallow
You're finished!
the wind! Let them
You're on!
This one's mine!
Swallow Blade!
Ah, allez, je vais faire une attaque, tabarnak.
I owe you one!
That looks bad.
Wits about you, people!
Ignite!
I'll tear you apart! Swallow dance! The winds of judgment blow your way! Fall before impending calamity!
Throbbing pain.
Chaotic disaster!
So that's the trick up her sleeve.
Tabarnak! Tu veux qu'on fasse quoi contre ça? Aïe, aïe. Résurrectez-moi avant.
Try harder! My turn! It's over!
I've let you all down.
My turn! You'll pay for that! Here I come! No further! Swallow Blade! Thanks!
I'll be saving this one!
Try harder! Not a chance!
Mine! I never miss!
Far enough!
Ah, allez, je peux rien faire, sacrément. Je passe mon temps à ça à me faire pogner.
My turn! This isn't looking good!
Ready and clear!
Stay away, my friend!
Chris, c'est quoi ces affaires-là? C'est la style merde, ça, man?
I can't lose!
This should do it!
Ben oui. Je savais même pas qu'il me visait, tu sais.
Now you see what I can do! I owe you. Take this!
In here!
I really owe you one. It's over!
Ready to go!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Roll now!
Rising Wyvern!
Not on my watch!
It's over!
In the sky is better! I never miss!
Take this! Rising Wyvern!
Là, c'est pas juste, c'est ça, on a deux boss dans un. Là.
Not today!
You will suffer to pieces! Attack time!
Here I come! It's over!
Thank you.
Behold my true
Take this!
power!
Prepare to be...
Her masterful!
Not while I'm around, she isn't.
Rising Wyvern! Rising Wyvern!
Raging
You're finished!
Cascade! I'll never
Yes.
forgive you!
What?
I'll take you down!
On l'a eu là.
I'll end you! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Nice, ça c'était hot. On l'a eu là.
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Danon, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Danon or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
Ah si, il est revenu.
It's that swordsman again.
Lui, c'est le boss final, man. Il va y avoir 5 lords à péter, puis il va en avoir un autre, là, ça va être lui.
Oh, Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Mais correct, ça, si tu l'amènes. Salope.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Barnac. Aucun respect. Correct ça, elle a pas de respect, comme disait parent l'autre et tout. Volron.
Years ago, the Lord of Ganeth Haros met a sudden death. His successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
happened to him? Alphen! Say something! Let go of me!
Ah shit.
Let me go!
Shion!
Alphen!
Shion!
Alphen!
Fuck!
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign.
What the fuck, man? Fuck, il a enlevé Shion. Chier ça, man. Là, il ressent la douleur, là. Je pense que c'est le dernier Lord, finalement. Je sais pas, man, mais je pense qu'on approche de la fin, man. Sujet 1273, la cérémonie de la canalisation spirituelle va bientôt commencer. Faut que tu restes calme en attendant de recevoir tes instructions. C'est un flashback, man.
After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home.
What?
I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake.
Oh tiens, numéro 1273, ou devrais-je dire souverain. Tu n'imagines pas le temps que nous avons passé à créer tout ce que nous avons mis en œuvre pour faire de toi une réussite. Il est hors de question de te perdre à cause d'une simple blessure. Ok. Je sais pas qui a décrété que nous devions tout commencer à t'appeler souverain. Ce n'est encore qu'un sujet de test pour l'instant. Ta seule valeur réside dans les aptitudes physiques dont tu as fait preuve dont tu fais preuve pour accomplir cette tâche. On se fiche de tes états d'âme. Pourquoi on me donne pas des dialogues si c'est important? On me tente pas de lire. À qui je dois parler? Hein? Ah. La dame a pour rôle de maintenir la situation sous contrôle. Toi, ton objectif est de rester concentré au début à la fin de la cérémonie. Si tu veux rentrer chez toi, tu as tout intérêt à ce que la cérémonie se déroule bien. Une cérémonie. Là-bas, je dois aller ou... C'est lui le sujet, madame? Ouais, il nous ressemble vachement. Physiquement, oui, peut-être. En revanche, il reste un sauvage. Tout comme ses pères. Tu n'as pas oublié les consignes, j'espère? Non, madame. Il est interdit de toucher le sujet, c'est ça? Ah, c'est quoi ça, là? Honnêtement, je commençais vraiment à m'inquiéter. Si tu n'avais pas montré de telles aptitudes, tu ne sais pas, je ne sais pas ce qu'on nous aurait fait. Après tout, c'est la première fois que nous parvenons à réunir un souverain et une dame pour la cérémonie. Et tes progrès constants jusqu'à aujourd'hui ont considérablement apaisé mes craintes.
As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out.
C'est le moment, ALPHEN. L'heure est enfin venue. Oui, nous devons aller mettre nos tenues. Nous nous retrouverons dans le dispositif de passation. Quand tu seras terminé, tu pourras enfin rentrer chez toi. C'est ce que j'espère. Quel dommage que tu sois retrouvé mêlé à toute cette histoire. Ce n'est pas de ta faute, tu sais. Faisons ce qui est... Faisons pourquoi nous sommes là et finissons zen une bonne fois pour toutes. Tu as raison. Elle ressemble à Chienne, genre. Je sais pas. Je trouve la forme, la face, quoi, je sais pas. Peut-être moi, là. Elle est blonde, fait que c'est pas elle.
I just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Leori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Leori. No!
Mais qui est elle?
Wait, please. Wait, What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone?
Holy shit, mon chum, hein? Damn. Oh, on vient de pogner une débarque, man. On vient de perdre Chian, l'épée. Notre crew. Ouf.
I need to find them. Better start looking.
Holy fuck.
Niori. Shion. Damn it. Take this! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Swallow Blade! Here I come! You're finished! Mirage! This one's all mine! Eat dirt!
Oh, là, c'est long, man.
Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! Take this! Try harder! Here I come! You're mine! Here I come! You're finished! Take this! You're finished! Stardust! Mirage! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! You're my...
Fais quoi lui là? Ok.
Here I come! You're mine! It's over! Mirage! Rising Wyvern! Slash! Swallow Blade! It's on! Take this! Eat dirt! Here I come! You're finished! Stardust! Mirage! You're mine! You're finished! Stardust! Mirage!
Ah, je l'ai esquivé, dude. Pourquoi t'as pas esquivé?
Mirage! Swallow Blade! Stardust! Mirage!
Ah, mon esti. Ça va amener qu'on est bien moins fort, man.
Alphen?
Oh, yes.
Finwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Finwell, where are we?
Ganeth Harros,
Oh.
Bolron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Bolron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
Chris. Maintenant, il nous a trouvé à la place.
You sense one of your pals, Hoodle? Speaking of Thistleim, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danon defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zeugles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now, trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Alphen, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah. And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
Probably.
I wonder if Alphen's going to be okay.
Non, ouais, avec, il a de l'air fucké en Chris, là. Il est comme, ouais. Ouais.
I believe we should hold off on speculation, simply keep an eye.
Alphen! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Shion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegus.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dano. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Danon?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegus is true, then maybe you really did meet Shion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renin maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imeris.
Imeris? As in Shion Imeris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years, and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renin invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make ALPHEN...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
ALPHEN...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
ALPHEN, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Excusez.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that ALPHEN's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, ALPHEN.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
Shit, huh?
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
On va aller sauver Shion, mon chum.
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renin sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I'd never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renin, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renin. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
Puis je me demande et tout pourquoi, genre... Alphen, pourquoi il est vieux de même? Comment il a fait pour rester en vie tout ce temps-là et tout?
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renin starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But, if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
Pour la liberté. Ouais, juste là.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, Finding out you're the sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
Il reste une personne à aller parler. Ensuite, on va se préparer. On va y aller.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man. Snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
Ah shit, je la saute en bas. Alright man, hey, je sais pas combien de temps de jeu qu'il nous reste à faire. Il nous reste quand même un seigneur à faire. On va avoir pas mal de quests à faire d'après moi. Mais ouais man, hey, nous autres on se laisse là-dessus man. J'espère que vous avez apprécié. Nous autres on se retrouve pour la suite man. Très intéressant ce qui se passe là. Je suis très curieux de savoir ce qui va se passer. À la prochaine. Ciao.
Alphen va-t-il renoncer à la voie du guerrier? Va-t-il réussir à sauver Shion? C'est ce que nous allons savoir au prochain épisode de Tales of Arise.